Hey, we have made it to the end of the week. This is your workout for the third of the fourth 20. We've got 3 individual pieces today, so you can do the first workout and then rest as you need to, practice the movements and then get into the next one, rest again, whatever you like, practice, chill out, and then move into the final workout. These are a series of sprint workouts today, so we really want you to focus on sending it, all right? Your first workout is 21-15-9 single arm dumbbell or kettlebell snatch and alternating pistols. Your next workout is going to be 30-20-10 on a single arm dumbbell or kettlebell power clean along with air squats, and then your last workout is 50-35-15 with a hang dumbbell or kettlebell clean and jerk and double unders. If you've not got double unders, we can scale that to singles today at 150, 150. Your warm up today is 5 rounds for quality. That means we're not going to do this fast, we're going to do it well. You've got 10 sit-ups, 10 push-ups and 10 air squats. 5 times through. Make sure you do it with good technique. When performing the dumbbell or kettlebell snatch, you're going to start off by grabbing the weight, dropping your hips down and driving your chest up and shoulders back. We want you to have a really solid structure and a flat back. The better you can set up, the lighter the weight's going to feel. Then what you're going to do is push the floor away, squeeze your butt and squeeze your quads and pop your hips. As you do this, you're going to pull your elbow behind you and open up your chest, as if you're starting a lawnmower. So you're going to pop your hips and pull your elbow behind you. Start that lawnmower. This is going to make the weight float and make it light for a second. Once you get that floaty feeling, you can then punch the ceiling. The single arm alternating snatch. This can be with a dumbbell or a kettlebell depending on what you've got, and you change arms on every repetition. The weight starts on the floor and finishes above your head in a straight line, locked out elbow, shoulders, hips and knees with the weight over the top of your shoulder. If the weight that you have at home is too heavy for you to do the alternating dumbbell snatch, you can do a Russian swing. So this is where you're going to pick the weight up to your hip, you're going to stuff the weight between your legs and push your hips back. As you do that, your body is going to hinge forward. You need to make sure to keep your chest up and your back flat. You can then think about driving the hips forward, squeezing your glutes and popping that kettlebell up to shoulder height. Alternating pistol. Your movement standard is you start at full extension, your hip passes lower than your knee, the same as it would in a squat, and then you return to full extension. The non-working leg, your foot cannot touch the floor or go behind your body, so it needs to stay in front of you. To perform this movement, you're going to start by pushing your hips back and down and driving your knee out. We still want a nice safe position. If you want, you can grab onto your foot or you can hold onto a weight as a counterbalance. Once you get that hip crease lower than knee, you're then going to push the floor away, squeeze your butt and come to full extension. Scale for your pistol squat today. You can do a step up if you've got something that you can step onto, or you can do a seated version of a pistol. So you're going to start stood up, take one foot off the floor, your hips go back and down the same as in a squat until you find your seat. Then you're going to rock forward, load that leg up and return to standing by pushing the floor away and your hips forward. Single arm power clean. You can do this inside of your feet or outside of your feet. That's up to you and wherever you feel comfortable. You're going to start this similar to the dumbbell or kettlebell snatch, where you drop your hips down and you drive your chest up, making sure that you set your back up in that nice flat position. Then again, push the floor away, squeeze your quads, squeeze your butt, and then you can pop your hips to get the weight moving. This time what you're going to do is drive your elbow through your body and up towards the sky so that you can catch the weight on your shoulder. If you need to, and it starts to get heavy, you can start to drop underneath the weight. So you're gonna pop and drop. So you're gonna extend at the legs, shrug the shoulders, and then drop underneath into quarter of a squat. Now the movement standard on this power clean is the weight starts on the floor and it finishes on your shoulder with your elbow in front of your body. On this clean, you do not need to change arms if you don't want to. You can just rattle through and get the work done. If the weight you have at home is too heavy for that single arm power clean, or you've got any sort of elbow or shoulder issue, we can do a sumo deadlift instead. You're gonna go wide with the feet, grab onto your weight, and drive your chest proud with your shoulders back and down. This is a little bit different to the setup on your snatch and clean. Your hips are gonna be higher, and it's gonna be more of a hinge movement. You're gonna push the floor away as your hips and your chest rise at the same time by extending your knees. Once the weight gets to your knee, you can push your hips forward and reach full extension. On the way back down, you're going to push your hips back and you're going to lean until the weight reaches your knee again. When it gets there, you can bend your knees. Remembering the whole time though to keep your chest proud and back flat. The air squat. Your movement standard is full extension at the top. That's your hips and your knees locked out and your body in a straight line. The bottom position is hips lower than knee or breaking parallel. Once you get there, you can then return to full extension. To perform the air squat, you're going to push your hips back and down, loading the weight in your heels. You're going to keep your chest up and your back flat. What we want is a nice neutral spine. So we don't mean vertical, we just mean that there's no rounding in the back. Knees are going to track over the top of your toes. Single arm hang clean and jerk. So this time, the position starts at the top of a deadlift. So you're going to take the weight from the floor and to the hip. From there, you're going to push your hips back slightly to load up your hamstrings. Then you're going to push the floor away, pop your hips, and drive the weight up to your shoulder, the same as you did in the power clean. Again, you can drop underneath that if you need to. Once at your shoulder, you can push press with a dip, drive and push, or you can push jerk it with a dip, drive and drop. So the key there is to squeeze your butt, open your hips fully and get the weight off your shoulder. Once it's moving, you can drop underneath into a quarter of a squat to catch that weight overhead. The movement standards on your clean and jerk. It must pass from between your legs, touch your shoulder and finish locked out overhead with the elbow, shoulders, hips and knees in a straight line and the weight over your shoulder. So on these clean and jerks, we don't mind if you don't change arms. You can see fit to do that yourself whenever you need to. Double unders, we're looking for 1 jump and 2 rope passes. If that's a problem, you can just do a single under, a 2-footed jump with 1 rope pass. We said before, your stimulus today is a sprint effort. So we're looking to go fast on all of these workouts. What I want to focus on though is going faster on the pieces without weight. When you've got a weight in your hand, sometimes the tendency is to rush and we end up being a bit sloppy with our movements. And actually what it ends up doing is slowing us down too much because we step in the wrong place, the weight falls a little bit. So what I want you to focus on is being fast but smooth on that weight today. And then when you pop the weight down, that's your time to really open up and push the pace. We're looking for sub 7 on the first part of the workout, sub 7 on the second piece, and sub 12 on the third piece. Some of it will depend on skill and obviously how long you've been training for. Some of the faster guys and girls out there, you might even be able to push 4 to 5 minutes on some of those earlier workouts. If you're happy with what the workouts are, you can hit pause now, get after them, rewind the video if you need a little reminder of anything, and then once you've done all that, press play again and we've got a little bit of accessory work to finish with. Hiya, I told you it'd be fun. Well done for getting through that, and for this hard week actually, there's going to be some sore legs over the weekend, but well done for getting it done. Your accessory piece to finish off today then is 100 sit-ups. So the same as in the warm-up, you can have your feet together and your knees out to the side, or you can have your legs straight. Your hands are going to touch the floor behind you, and then reach forward and touch your socks or your toes. Today's mobility piece is couch. So you're going to put a pad underneath your knee or a pillow or a towel. Then what you're going to do is send your foot up the wall and your shin up the wall. Your knee is going to go on the pad and you're going to post up on the other leg, but try not to lean on that leg. You're going to have a nice tall spine and a proud chest, and engage your glutes a little bit. Squeeze your bum a little bit. For there, we're going to hang out for 2 minutes on each leg.